what's right. Are you gonna do it? Just get yourself untied. Are you gonna do it? Feel the heat pushing you to the side. Feel the heat burning you up, ready or not. Some like it hot and some sweat when the heat is on. Some feel the heat and decide that they can't go on. Some like it hot, but you can't tell how hot till you try. Some like it hot, so let's turn up the heat till we fry. The girl is at your side. Are you gonna do it? She wants to be your bride. Are you gonna do it?
Hello.
What a sexy song. How you going,
and you're
guys?
back. You're back from
Yeah.
England.
Back in the country. Good to be back.
Yeah, did you
I
have
had
a
an
great
amazing time, but it's
Yep.
great to be home. Always good to come home as well, you know?
Yep.
We really do. It was funny because sort of on the way back, we did so much while we were away. But, you know, the funny thing about living in Melbourne is the last sort of 4 hours of your trip is flying over Australia. You know, you'll either fly through Darwin or across Western Australia. And you do get this big sort of wash of relief. Like you just feel like, oh my God, I'm safe. Like I'm back home again. You're still in the air and, you know, anything could happen. But just over Australia and sort of within Australian airspace, you feel safe.
Yeah,
and,
the home stretch.
Yeah, I said to Mika, like, we really do have an amazing quality of life here. You know, you just don't realise. Like, it'd be amazing if you could sort of take all of the sites and the history from overseas, but swap it for the lifestyle and the people. It's the people. It's the Australian people that are special.
Yep.
You know, I couldn't wait to get back and see my colleagues because I was just grateful for being around Aussies again, you know, like it was really strange. It always does. Like I love getting overseas, but it also makes you appreciate home as well, you know?
Oh, yeah, sure. Especially when you've got a family as well and
a
little one that wants to see Nanny and Poppy and whoever, you know.
Yeah,
it's
he was
different.
a trooper though. He was a
I
trooper.
could
We did sort of
imagine.
3 planes on the way over and 3 planes on the way back. We travelled on the Eurostar between London and Paris as well. And all that sort of travel time for a 2-year-old, he was phenomenal considering he just had to sort of sit there and wait, you know.
Yeah, that's amazing.
I just don't understand the concept, but like he was incredible. He was beautiful. But
Fantastic.
did some incredible things. You know, there was obvious sort of like touristy stuff that we wanted to do and a couple of sites that, you know, I personally wanted to see. But one of them was, and it sort of ties into this episode, one of them was visiting the original site of the Blitz Club. The Blitz Club in Covent Garden.
Yeah.
And because we had talked about it on the show and it just sort of like occurred to me to sort of pop up. It's obviously something else now. It's called the Red Room, but it was really beautiful. There was a little plaque up in the corner that said, this is the first venue that Spandau Ballet ever played their very first gig. And I had been to Camden Market earlier that day and I bought you a little souvenir. Have a look at that.
Oh my
It's
God,
a little,
that's amazing.
yeah, this is a little
What
canvas.
is it?
It's a little canvas.
Oh my God, it's a canvas.
Yeah.
That's gorgeous, babe.
And it's a
Thank
famous
you.
It's a famous piece of street art that's actually in Brixton of David Bowie.
Oh my
and,
God.
you know, Bowie being the
Incredible.
big Blitz Kids idol, I wanted to get it for you. It's
Yeah.
really beautiful.
Oh, babe,
as soon as I
thank
saw it, I
you.
was like, I must get that. And I got one for
Maddie
Maddie
will
to
love
check
that
this
as
out.
well.
I got this
Ooh.
from Maddie. because I know he loves rubber duckies and I know he loves his baths and
Oh
I
my
know
God,
he loves his Star
that's
Wars.
amazing. That's the
Check
best.
that out. A little
I've just
Darth
been
Vader
cleaning
rubber
the
ducky.
bath.
Oh, have you?
Yeah, I've had to
There you
clean
go.
the house. So that's amazing, honey.
Matty can use that for next
Oh,
time.
he'll love
so
that.
There we go.
He'll love it.
Little
He's still
Darth
got,
Vader rubber ducky.
Yeah. He's still got that fish in a bloody bag you gave him years ago, but there's no fish there.
Fish
It's
in
all
the
brown.
bag?
It was like a bag with a hard. It was like a paperweight with the fish in it, and it was hard water, and it was in a bag.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah,
Serious?
it was bloody years ago. Anyway, he's kept it.
Oh,
And it's brown
God.
now, but I
Oh,
just looked at it
shit.
before and went, "Can we get rid of this now?"
Nah,
yeah.
Matty enjoys the souvenir, so I always make sure I get him one.
Yeah,
when I
he
go
loves
away.
it. He loves the insects as well. The insects in the glass.
Ah, yeah.
He loves it. No, he
Beautiful.
likes getting those for people. Yeah. So I'm Sammy
Yeah.
Hardon.
And I'm Jay Jovi.
Welcome to the 80s montage. This week is going to be a ripper. It's the second part to our bloody episode.
Side projects.
Side projects, yeah. Side
Yeah.
dishes. And then it's the international side projects.
International, so from all around the world, because we discovered sort of there were so many, and it's
many.
sort of side projects. It could be an extension from their career. So when they've sort of decided to sort of lay down the instruments with one band, it's what they sort of pick up, and sometimes they kept going with that. They didn't end up coming back to their original band. Oftentimes it was in their hiatus period or in between tours and stuff like that. They would, want to keep. They wouldn't want to get sort of rusty, so they would keep going, and and they would often collaborate with friends and colleagues that they had met on tour. So Power Station was a great one to open with.
I did. I thought we'd open with Power Station. It's obvious, but good song. And some amazing members in this, The Power Station were great musicians.
So it was sort of like famously Robert Palmer, half of Duran Duran being John and Andy Taylor, and then you had the drummer from Chic, Tony Thompson. Bernard Edwards from Chic also sort of did production, and they sort of, they were doing it during a hiatus period from Duran Duran, and we're just sort of mucking around, I guess, as friends. They were going to provide some backing music for somebody else, and decided they kind of wanted to do it for a while. So, one half of Duran Duran was doing Power Station, and the other half was doing Arcadia. We've mentioned Arcadia a heap of times on this show. Yeah.
Yeah, I think just the other week. Also, John Taylor being such an amazing bass player, Chic was like one of his influences, and it was a dream for him to work with those guys, And the Power Station was I can't think today. I don't know what's going on, but it was a recording studio, which it was named after, which was awesome as well. Because I never really knew that as a kid. I really didn't know that. But,
legendary recording studio.
Yeah, so this is where John Taylor would have just loved this. And then, I think as a guitarist, Andy Taylor is really underrated as well. He's a bit like Prince, where people miss the guitar work with Andy Taylor. Like, I know people that love Van Halen, Eddie Van Halen, that will look at Andy Taylor and go, what an incredible guitarist. And I just think the whole band was great,
I think it's because they were pin-ups. You know what I mean? I think it's because they were sort of like teen idols, and you actually forget if you're not a muso, you forget. If you are a muso, you realise how incredible Duran Duran are. But if you're not a muso, you might forget like what incredible instrumentalists that the band actually are.
Yeah, and if you wanted to become a muso in the future, you really looked into that stuff. But in saying that, in the 80s, everyone was good looking, like you couldn't be ugly, really. You wouldn't get a deal, would you?
Well, it
Not
was
like today.
as music was.
You can be a ginger or,
Yeah, they kind of like that, don't they?
They had
these
to have
days?
the whole package.
Yeah, exactly.
And everyone was a stunner. So for me, I loved the way they looked, but it was the music that really sold it for me, But very interesting times, because now you can wear a pair of thongs and a fucking, I don't know. whatever you want and get out
as long
there.
as you're not threatening. And look, Power
Yeah, well,
Station
that's right.
released. Power Station released 2 albums. The one that this was from in '85. And then they had a follow-up in '96. I never knew about the follow-up. It was called Living in Fear.
Yeah, well, yeah. I think Duran came back on the scene after that, or they patched it up.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Did they actually do maybe the Bond movie not long after this? James Bond movie, and maybe they.
And you know, when I went to the Eiffel Tower, all I could think of was Duran Duran.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Yeah.
All I could fucking think of was Duran Duran.
Simon Le Bond.
Yeah, that's
exactly.
right.
Yeah, look, I'm not a fan of the Eiffel Tower. It's a bit cheap, isn't it?
We did the whole experience where you sort of go right to the top. I was fucking shitting myself.
Right, okay. Yeah, I wouldn't do that.
It's different than going to, say, Burj Khalifa in Dubai, the tallest building in the world, where it's like state of the art, earthquake proof, tornado proof and all of that. And it's like the most modern of modern technology, and it was just built sort of within the last 20 years. This is the Eiffel Tower's bloody old as fuck, all sort of like rusty and broken down and everything.
Climbing a fucking coat hanger.
I just thought like any minute now, a big sort of corner of it's going to break off and, we're going to be standing on it. Mick has got Leo up against the fucking mesh to the, the open air to the sky kind of thing. And I'm like, can you please get him off it? But, we loved it. We had a great time in Paris this time. I really fell in love with it this time.
Really?
We did some cool stuff. Yeah. Because I'd been learning.
I think the winery.
Oh, yeah, true. Yeah, absolutely. I had been learning a little bit of French in the lead up as well. So I sort of got us by, I was ordering dinner for us all and all of that kind of thing, like working out the train system. And it just, not that I was relaxed, I was freaking out the whole time doing it. And it's like trying to remember the words one word at a time kind of thing. But got by, we sort of went to some non-touristy spots where people just did not speak English, and got by. Really felt like we had sort of scratched the surface a little bit and not did the touristy thing, But loved it. Loved the UK as well. Unwittingly, the other week, I'm not sure. I certainly didn't realise, but of course, Visage is like a side project. It was sort of a Midua was from Ultravox, and they were doing Visage as a side project to play music in Steve Strange's club, And I thought that was really interesting. So on the Blitz Kids for a moment, when I went to the old site, I was telling you about this the other day. A couple of doors down from the old Blitz Club site, Stephen Jones has he does his millinery out of a shop just a couple of doors down from it. Legendary Stephen Jones. And I actually I recognized the hats first. I saw the hats and was like, they are fucking awesome. And I thought they're a little bit retro actually. And then I was like, it can't be. And I looked up on the sort of canopy, sure enough, Stephen Jones Millinery. And I was like, I bet he fucking works out of here. I went inside and looked at a couple of the hats, pretending I'm looking at the stock. And a couple of the girls came out and I said, is Stephen operating today? Is he sort of out the back today? And they said, no, he's not actually on site today. They said he does work out of here, but he's in Paris at the moment for Fashion Week. And I had just come from Paris. Wow. And I was like, oh, fuck. That would have been, would have been incredible. That would have made my trip if I had met Stephen Jones, because I think of those Blitz kids, and apart from the ones that became super, super famous, like Boy George and Marilyn and so forth, you think like Steve Strange, you think Stephen Jones, and you think sort of Princess Julia. Any of those three, I would have gone absolutely crazy to meet them.
Yeah, sure.
But
Well, and it
next
just
time.
goes to show you how much that street and that site really means to them.
yeah,
Because it's like, well, there's no other reason to not be in this site and have my hat
exactly
shop.
right.
you know.
Exactly right. The whole world has moved on except for the memory of that club. Just
Yeah,
down the
that's
road.
right.
So,
That's right.
Yeah, obviously very special to him.
Because I saw Tony Hadley being interviewed about the gig he's doing out here in Australia, and they were going, "Oh, how do you feel working with Boy George and Culture Club?" And he goes, "Oh, those guys have been in my life since the Blitz Club."
Yeah, yeah.
And I thought,
yeah.
oh, well, of course they have, but not many people would know that are new sort of journalists. They wouldn't have looked into that.
Yeah,
but
that's
I think it was exciting to hear that they still really. It's not like they worked for Young Talent Time and they won't mention it. It was a really proud moment for all of them to
Gotcha.
go through that whole generation of Blitz Kid movement.
Yeah.
So there you go. There's the Power Station. Now, amazing album. I loved it. I loved him as well, the singer. Loved him. I loved his original stuff.
I loved him in this. I love Robert Palmer in this.
Yeah. See, I love Robert Palmer. Robert Palmer's got a song called I Didn't Mean to Turn You On, which a girl called Sherelle, actually, I think it was Sherelle in the 80s, re-released. It blew my mind when I went to the Blue Light Discos. It was like, oh, my God, it's Sherelle with I Didn't Mean to Turn. I think it's Sherelle. I'll double check. And it was how I sort of got onto that song through Sherelle with Robert Palmer, and then I started looking into his stuff. But very sexy, sort of funk orientated. He was a perfect fit for that for this project.
Yeah, that's right. Yep.
Now we get on to the next one, and we've got a great commercial tonight too. So here we go. Here's the next one for you to guess.
Well, you made your bed, better lying in. Get back to
You should see me when you're not around. I'm a genius in this town. I'm a queen bee when the coast is clear. Now I know I don't need you, dear. So wave your hand like a magic man, disappear. Beat up car, like an old film star. That's what you are. Na 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 na. Your history, no good for me. Your history, na 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 na. You should see me from your
Shakespears' sister.
I swear to God, mate, when
Love
I
it.
come back in the next life, I want to be as cool as Siobhan Fay.
Oh, absolutely. Isn't she just incredible?
What a fucking awesome chick and what an amazing career. Like you would look back on your musical career if you were her and just be so proud of your body of work, wouldn't you?
Well, some people used to not like it so much, like they were picked on a lot, Bananarama, for being the pop artist, but I heard fucking someone bag Kylie the other night. And I thought, how can you bag someone like Kylie that's been around for 40-something years?
How the fuck can you bag Kylie Minogue?
Oh,
like
it was
now,
the chick
you know
from
what
The
I mean?
Voice, Katie Millie Heike.
Really?
Whatever. Yeah, she said, "Oh, well, Kylie Minogue can't sing or something," which it was sort of a brush off, but I just wasn't into it. It was like, dude, you know what? She fucking knows she's not Marina Pryor. It's about your fucking existence,
Fuck, that's
So a lot of
disrespectful,
people
isn't
do
it?
get a bit funny. Yeah, it was very interesting. I wasn't wrapped in that, and of course, I don't think Adam was either because Adam loves her. Adam picked 3 songs from Kylie.
See,
And of
I
course,
would
the young
never-
kids don't know how to sing her.
I would never say that especially if I was like another female Australian artist, because it just comes across as
Yeah.
well, maybe you should fucking
was
shut
pretty
up and
bad.
listen. Maybe you should embrace her
that's
and
right.
actually look at
Yeah.
what she's done to stick around
Yeah.
for so long.
Yeah.
you know?
You're doing Eurovision and she's doing fucking LA, fucking
Yeah.
Vegas.
I
And,
bet in
you know,
6 months' time, Kylie Minogue isn't checking her fucking bank account to see how much money she's got left. You know, when The Voice isn't on
Oh, God,
TV.
we're bitches.
Well, come
I
on.
love
Like, this
it.
is
I
the
love
reality
it.
of it.
It is the
This
reality.
is the reality of it.
Absolutely.
You know? And we think like
Absolutely.
people on TV are sort of like rolling in money, but it's like, hey, you know, like when they're not on TV, they're fucking looking for the next dollar like the next person.
That's
you know?
right. Absolutely.
Not Kylie
Especially-
Minogue.
No,
Not Kylie
Kylie's
Minogue.
sort of stapled herself into the scene a bit more than everyone
She's
else
just
in
done-
Australia.
She's just announced her second show at Madison Square Garden in April next year.
Yeah,
Like,
there you go. Yeah, that's pretty
See-
fucked up, isn't it? When you
yeah.
think about it.
Are you
Really
going? Have you
bad.
got tickets? Have you got
to
tickets
Madison
here?
Square Garden? I wish. No, I haven't, honey. Maddie wants to go this time. So
Is that right?
We just got to work out dates and stuff. And I've just got a few more things that are more important, not than a Kylie, but just to pay for and stuff. So then I'll look at that. But I always
Yeah.
go to Kylie concerts and I always go on my own. So I'm upset Maddie wants to go because then I'm going to have to find 2 seats. And I love going to her concerts on my own because I think she's incredible. I think it's all about the artist and I think she can sing. I think when she sings Confide in Me, not many chicks can do that because I've sung it myself. It's a hard sing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's right.
And do it with such conviction. And I think she's doing the old version of Confide in Me, which she did on one of the tours, which was fucking musically incredible.
Yeah.
Might have been light years. Might have been. I might be wrong. Leo will be able
right.
to tell me.
That was a good.
And it was
show.
just beautiful strings and just she did this dance routine with this guy and there were 2 twins on the tour, did this dance routine on the guy and she's going to look back at that because when you do look back at your body of work as an artist, you would be going, that was a great bloody version of that song, you know? And
Yeah,
it was.
yeah.
It was soul. It was great. But yeah,
Gotcha.
that was my little deviate. Sorry. So Shakespears' sister. I love them. Love them.
Yeah, for real. And it's sort of Siobhan left Bananarama just because they were getting a lot poppier. She wanted to explore a lot of the darker stuff. She was beginning a relationship with Dave Stewart from Eurythmics. And this really, Shakespears' sister really is a side project for both Siobhan and Dave. Because he was doing a lot of the writing and a lot of the production and everything behind the scenes. Originally, it was going to be a solo project, Shakespears' sister, and she naturally has a contralto voice, which is a very low female range. You can hear the beautiful kind of like her beautiful low voice all throughout this. And it's really beautifully showcased in this. You don't realize from Bananarama, but you really get a sense of it from this. And she met originally, what was her name? Marcy Levi, I think in New York. And
Marcella Detroit, yeah.
yeah, she took on the stage name Marcella Detroit. She had also sort of failed to get her solo stuff up on her own. And so sort of, I guess, she wanted to go through a bit of a personal and creative metamorphosis and came out as Marcella Detroit. She had the really, beautiful sort of upper range stuff against Siobhan, and it was just such a beautiful combination. So rather than it being, I guess, a solo project, it became a duo just on its own accord because it just fitted so well. The name came from a song by the Smiths, which was originally inspired by some writing of Virginia Woolf, some work called A Room of One's Own. And it's a really cool project. Anybody from the very late 80s and early 90s would remember Shakespears' sister so clearly. They had a massive number 1 called Stay, of course.
They had a few albums and a lot of hits. You don't remember that.
And they're still reformed. I mean, when of after Siobhan had her big hiatus, she went back to Bananarama. They did that one sort of tour. then she went across to Marcella and sort of reformed Shakespears Sisters. Just the fucking coolest thing in the world.
Yeah. So Marcella had her own album out in 1982. I vaguely remember it. But
Yeah,
she wrote
I remember it.
In 1977 with Eric Clapton, Lay Down Sally. So she was a good songwriter and worked with some huge people. I knew of her when I first saw Shakespears Sister, but I wasn't sure who Siobhan was. Like, she looked so different, you know?
Absolutely different. It wasn't Bananarama Siobhan,
No.
you know? Yeah.
But still
it was
amazing.
phenomenal. Yeah, yeah.
Amazing.
And it was sort of the great thing about Shakespears Sister is they were both showcased so beautifully. There wasn't like a stronger person out of the two of them. I just think it was such a perfect act. They were great.
Yeah, absolutely.
And you got
Goths
Dave
loved
Stewart. You got Dave Stewart writing and producing for you. Like, you know, and like if he doesn't know sort of women's voices and how to highlight them and showcase them, who does? You know, amazing.
Yeah, that was a weird bang in my house. Anyway.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, don't know what that was.
Any bang's good though. You know.
Yeah, look, that's right. Who knows?
Hey, do you
what
like
that
my
is?
shirt? I'm not sure if
love
you
it.
recognise my shirt.
How was the weekend on the
the
weekend?
weekend? Holy shit! So I got back. I got back on Sunday morning. Went straight to bed. Slept for a few hours. I was, you know, off my face with jet lag because we had to get to the VIP entry for the weekend. We stuck around for something like 4 hours because they sort of let you in super, super early. Had a great spot and we were just meters away from him. The show was so incredible that we're considering going to the Sydney one in 2 weeks. I don't think we're going to be able to because it's going to clash with gigs. And I've got to let this voice sort of fucking recover and everything. I went to the doctor today. I went to a different doctor to get a second opinion. The first doctor was like, you just need voice rest. I'm not sort of writing you a prescription. And I'm like, fuck off, cunt. I'm a singer. Like if you knew what it's like to sort of lose a section of your voice and you're a singer, it's like being a tradie or something and losing a hand. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's right.
I said this is hugely distressing. Anyway, I didn't fuck around with him anymore. I went to this other doctor who straight away wrote me out prescriptions for steroids and antibiotics and all kinds of things. So for the first time in like 3 or 4 weeks, I'm actually feeling good about it. But I've just got to kind of it does need to just sort of recover. I get really chronic asthma, as you know. And nothing was fixing it and until sort of now. So starting to feel good anyway. Anyway, we went to the weekend. It was amazing.
Right. So how long did he play for?
About 3.5 hours, which I was really surprised. He's got so many songs. He has so many hits.
Well, they've been saying in the media he did an hour and everyone's disappointed.
No.
Fuckwits.
No. He did like 3.5 hours. And it was kind of it was very, very theatrical. Like it was very kind of like monastic, like kind of Illuminati kind of, you know, like you're in a temple kind of thing. Like it was a full kind of Michael Jackson Madonna experience. You know what I mean? Like full scale stadium show. It was incredible. It was really, really good. And he's in
amazing.
Sydney in 2 weeks. So, yeah, who knows when he'll come back because I think there were 3 albums released between last time I saw him in Australia, which was in Sydney, and now. So, you know, he'll –
Good on him.
I don't want to see him in another 10 years when he's like way past his prime, you know. Like I want to kind of – I think next time I see him it'll be overseas. I'll catch him overseas.
Yeah, that'd be amazing. Here's our next side dish. Here we go.
it was gone, there was whoa. This is the West, get used to it. They put a swastika over the door. Under the guard, under the guard. 10 strings over the crazy, crazy. Washing their heads in the toilet though. They don't see supremacist hate. Right-wing dicks in their boiler suits, picking out who to annihilate. Toxic jungle of boozy trails. Tribesmen just wouldn't live here. Fascist flair is fashion kill. When you're dead, you just ain't buried.
Tin Machine, Under the God. I love it.
I've got a little bit of trivia for you, right? Mm-hmm. So Tin Machine, fucking incredible, cool as shit. Side projects are fucking cool. Side projects are fucking cool. I don't know what it is about it, whether it's kind of because they're not trying to be commercial, they're just kind of riffing and being a bit free, and therefore there's just something more spontaneous and organic about it. I don't know. But David Bowie up front with the Sales Brothers who did the tour with Iggy Pop and David Bowie. They did the Idiot tour in 1977. My friend Dominic Muldowney was one of the producers on this album, and he was telling me all about it. I went and visited him in
London?
Oxfordshire just last week. It was just incredible. But yeah, I remember like him telling me about the recording of The Idiot and like, you know, hanging out with Bowie and stuff in London, like at the height of his fame and everything, and how incredible it was. Really amazing. But yeah, this of course, Tin Machine was in 1988, and you just hear Bowie's voice against this band. It's just incredible.
The chord progression though in the middle there is very Bowie, where it sort of descends. I love that about it.
Yeah.
Musically, he just takes it down and you feel it drop, you know. I think the reason why side projects was so amazing is because they had no record company connected to it going, you need to sound like the last album. You need to sound like this when you do this, and you need to
have a radio hit.
Yeah. So it was like something that they couldn't lose with, because if no one liked it, who gives a fuck? Like you've already got Let's Dance, the record. Let's do something. Yeah. I love it though. I think it's very rock. It reminds me of the soundtrack to Hedwig, which is obviously, you know, taken from ideas like this.
Yeah.
The 70s sound. But yeah, I really want to look more into the Tin Machine. I haven't really looked that much into them, but I love it.
It's sort of, and unless you really look into it, you could miss this. You know what I mean?
Absolutely could.
Yeah. If you weren't a massive Bowie fan, and I think because of what was happening in Bowie's career across this period, there was so much like Bowie solo content coming out around this time. I really don't, you know, it just amazes me how prolific some people are with their work. I really don't know how you can fit a side project in at this time if you're David Bowie in 1988. Just incredible.
Yeah, that's right. He just must have had some creative juices he needed to get out. And they're doing it full time, you know what I mean? So they just live and breathe it. They get up at 2 a.m. They don't have to go to a day job. They just go, I'll just fucking write an album at 2 a.m, you know?
Exactly.
But love it. So the next one we've got is this one.
They would seek high, they would seek low, calling them and child as the trouble they flow. There's always somebody
Creatures.
Another fucking awesome one. This is Susie Sue and Budgie from Susie and the Banshees.
Yes, love Budgie, love Susie.
Really
met them years ago. I'm not sure if they came out for the Creatures. They might have, but I'm pretty sure it was
What
Susie
came
and the
out to
Banshees.
Australia as the Creatures, did they?
They might have been promoting the record. Remember that record store? I've talked about it before. Across the road from the Metro, it used to be like was it Gaslight? Yeah, Gaslight Records. And they did a thing there. But it might have been for the new Susie Sue, the Susie and the Banshees album, but I can't remember. It was so long ago. But such a perfect couple. Budgie was the drummer from Susie and the Banshees. They put this band together called The Creatures and really percussive. Like he's on xylophone and stuff, and it's just something that they didn't, like you say, it's a different situation where it's music that you probably wouldn't hear in their original stuff, you know?
Yeah, and you sort of, you always do, whether you like it or not, in a band, in an originals band, have a very sort of specific affinity with one member where it's like you two have an absolute understanding of each other creatively, but you may not get every idea that you agree upon past the band. So who knows? Like he could have been Susie's writing partner for Susie and the Banshees, and just when they're sort of like working stuff up, it just not everyone's vibing it, you know what I mean? And so they decide to sort of like shelve that material. You might come up with some really fucking cool stuff. I had a relationship like this with Luke McKenzie, my old bass player from 10,000. We loved each other's ideas, and it was like a lot of them we knew was never going to be like on a 10,000 album. And yeah, it's wonderful for these guys, I guess, to be able to have that kind of side project where they can just fucking release whatever they like.
And they were together as well. They were a couple.
Yeah.
Susie and Budgie. So that always helps when you're sticking it in.
It does help.
And
yeah, that's it.
It does help a little bit more. But amazing. I haven't heard much of the Creatures either, but I knew of them at venues I went to and stuff. They'd play them and blah, blah, blah. But you wouldn't think Susie and the Banshees have been around since 1976. They've been around for a long time.
Mate,
So you would kind of want to do something different, wouldn't you, after a while?
Yeah. And I think kind of because they were around from 1976 all the way through, and they were so influential on several scenes, not just sort of post-punk, not just new wave, not just goth. They were a very, very cool band around that time and very influential. You would need to kind of take a break from that, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And just do stuff that, like if you're a cult figure, if you're sort of like Morrissey or Nick Cave or somebody like that, you would need to just like take a break from yourself now and then.
God, yeah. And a break from putting fucking makeup on every morning. She was like the Cyndi Lauper of goth,
Yeah,
Mama
she
goth.
was. That's very good. Yeah, absolutely.
And you just saw her different all the time. She was always innovative and a fantastic front woman and just didn't give a shit about anything,
Nah.
But
It's
yeah,
funny,
there you
isn't
go.
it? Because sort of like front women like her, you think guys would flock to her, but like I think she scared the shit out of everyone.
Oh, God, yeah. Absolutely. Oh, God.
loved
That's
her.
why she's
I
running the
loved her.
band. No one will come after you in the band.
Yeah, that's right. Exactly
like,
right.
I remember it's like you've got to be with the band because no one else will come near you. Like the men would have been shitting themselves,
Yeah.
which is always a good thing. But yeah, that was the Creatures, and we love the Creatures. The next one we've got the Tom Tom Club, which I want to have a little look at, but I've got a different song for the Tom Tom Club because I didn't want to play the normal single. This one was a really good track and charted really well for them. Here we go.
Words in papers, words in books, words on TV, words for crooks, words of comfort, words of peace, words to make the fighting cease, words to tell you what to do. Words are working hard for you. Eat your words, but don't go hungry. Words have always nearly hung me. Words of nuance, words of skill, and words of romance are a pill. Words are stupid, words are fun. Words can put you on the run. Mots pressés, mots sensés, mots qui disent la vérité. Mots maudits, mots mentis, mots qui manquent le fruit d'esprit.
Words can bite you on the bum.
It's such a cunty female vocal,
Oh,
isn't it?
it's so good. And
And-
it says a lot.
Strangely, it's very Talking Heads. I'm surprised that David Byrne criticised it for being too commercial. You know?
Well, it's really 1981, so maybe it was. Like you had a few weirdos out that, you know, Laurie Anderson and stuff, but I don't think it's as commercial as you know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly right. And I don't get it.
That could
I
be
think
jealousy,
it's really weird.
you know,
I think it is jealousy because it's fucking cool.
because it's Wordy Rappinghood,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
The
Really
big one was
cool.
Genius of Love, yeah, but they were out very early in the piece, like 1980. Talking Heads were 1980. Tom Tom Club were both 1980 as well, so might have just shook a bit of ego there, that's all.
Yeah. Tom Tom Club named after the venue where they used to rehearse, which was like a dance hall and in the Bahamas. And I there's a sort of running theme with these side projects that they name it after venues like the Power Station or the Tom Tom Club, which I think is really cool. And they often make great band names.
And it sounds like they've gotten ripped at the Bahamas and written a lot of these songs, you know what I mean? It was Tina
100%.
Weymouth. Yeah, Tina Weymouth, bass player for Talking Heads, Chris Franz, Victoria Clamp, Bruce Martin and Pablo Martin.
Yeah.
And I don't know, a lot of the different arty people really enjoyed the Tom Tom Club, especially hairdressers. Like you just listen to this song and then they'd be in a hair show or stuff like that. So I think Talking Heads was a little bit more commercial if you ask me. But anyway, that's just my opinion.
Yeah.
But yeah, amazing. We've got a commercial now that we're going to play.
Can I just say, Genius
Yeah.
of Love, which was their sort of other big hit, which we've played on the show before, I think when...
Yeah, we have.
When fucking old mate was on the show, DJ Grandmaster Flash. I couldn't remember his
Bates,
station.
Grandmaster Bates, yeah.
What did I say? Grandmaster Flash.
Grandmaster
What a fucking
Flash.
idiot.
Yeah.
Grandmaster Bates. The Genius of Love is the one that's like often sampled Mariah Carey in Fantasy and in
Yeah.
Return of the Mac by Mark Morrison as well, sampled. I think we've played it ages ago. Genius of Love, really cool track. Check that one out as well.
Oh yeah, we have. We've it's a huge favourite of Edward's, a friend of mine, my hairdresser, and that's why I know it was a hair thing, you know. Really cool cruisy song and just really light and fluffy, but really clever, you know. Here we
We're
go.
doing very well with the deep cuts tonight, by the way, I think, you know.
I think we do really well with the deep cuts every day. I don't think we're
I think
dumb
we
shit.
do too, but
Yeah, I
I
don't
think
know.
we do too.
You
Yeah.
know, deep cut is such not an 80s word. It's
No,
like
it's not.
deep
No.
cut's like a now thing. But
Yeah, that's it.
it's funny because a lot of songs they think would be a deep cut were played in the clubs every week, you know.
Exactly
so it just depends
right.
on your age, I guess.
Yeah.
But this is a commercial I found which is really cute. And I'm going to put the label on up because I don't know where it
yes.
is. Here we go.
Feeling bored, need a change. Napro color turns ashes to flame. a look to entice. Napro color turns salt and pepper into spice. In the mood for something bold, Napro color turns brass into gold. Come on, be daring, isn't it time? Let Napro color turn that mouse into a lion.
Remember that last line? Let Napro colour turn a mouse into a lion. Everyone ran out and got their Napro. I reckon they're still around, to be honest. Yeah, they are. They're fucking
No, they
still
definitely
around.
are. Yeah, 100%.
That's unbelievable. You know, I did a jingle once for Nice and Easy, a hair jingle.
Oh, yes, that's still around too.
It is Nice and Easy. That was when they first brought out the root one, where you just got a root from it. And
that's it.
I don't know where that jingle is, but it was pretty cool to do. I was excited because it was an international one, I think.
Stick it in your hair and you'll get something else in your hair.
I wish I was old enough to appreciate the hair colour that, you know, I probably could have gotten if I'd have asked, but I didn't need it. I had the greatest hairdresser in the world.
Awesome.
Next one, Mr. Bungle. Now this is an interesting one.
I remember a chick coming up to you on Chapel Street and like going, you know, like what colour's your hair, baby? Like what number is it? Can you tell me what number your hair is so I can go and get it? And you wouldn't tell her because it's like, no, I'll
wouldn't have known. I wouldn't have known.
Yeah.
It would just mix three colours together. They thought it came out of a box like Napro, but I very rarely use a box.
You've always had good hair, you bitch.
Well, it's not good at the moment, but I'll do it tonight. But Edward's in Bali, so there you go.
Even when it's bad, it's good.
It's curly and straight and all up me gate. Mr. Bungle, though, we're going to talk about Mr. Bungle. I don't know if this is a side project or not. I mean, I guess it is, but I think it might have come out before Faith No More. But everyone loves these guys.
it was a side project, definitely.
Yeah, good. Everyone loved these guys, especially in Australia. We loved them. I remember all my friends going to see Mr. Bungle in the 90s, I think. And it's interesting.
100%.
It's a bit trippy. And this is where we bring the argument in of everything they do as a side project sounds really different. Well, this is a very good example with Mr. Bungle. Here we go. How would you play that live without freaking being off your nut?
It's funny because Mike Patton had so many different side projects.
He did.
But these guys in particular were big competition. Is the heater on? I feel like fucking Aretha Franklin.
Oh.
So hot.
Oh, would-be's.
You know the ad when she's in the back of the car and she's saying how hot it is? I feel like that.
Where was that in the movie? In a movie?
It's like a Snickers ad. Remember it? She's in the back of the car and they're on a road trip.
Oh, no, I don't. Oh, did she do a Snickers ad as well?
She did a Snickers ad, yeah.
Oh, wow.
And Liza Minnelli's in it as well, the same ad. It's really good. Because they're really eclectic, because they were basically they started as like a death metal project. They were a band that just kind of drifted through different genre, and they formed a fan base. This is actually really rare. They formed a fan base just because of who they were and because of the experimentation, not because of the genre of music that they were.
That's
and
right.
They used to change it up. They just change it up drastically, and it just wasn't. You'd play this song. There's no way you could have danced all the way through to one song. Things used to change up all the time. And because they were so sort of eclectic, they were, I guess, competition with Red Hot Chili Peppers. And it's funny because I've always thought of, say, Faith No More as being like a Red Hot Chili Peppers diet version.
Yeah.
All the Faith No More fans will fucking hate me for saying that.
Yeah. I actually love Faith No More.
I do too. Yeah.
I mean, the Chili Peppers, I love Flea, love him, but I would rather listen to Faith No More and a lot of the darker stuff, like that fucking tune where he's in the 90s. I actually brought that on single.
Is it Ashes to
wolf on the
Ashes or
cover.
whatever it is?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wolf on the cover, fucking dark as anything, and it was just beautiful. I don't
Matty
like
and I
Easy.
used to do it night version.
Yeah, I don't like Easy. Fucking hate
Easy. Easy by Faith No More is my funeral song, babe. I've got about 4, and that's one of them. So you'll be singing it whether you like it or not.
Wow, easy. All right, I'll suit up. But that's hilarious. I haven't even thought about my songs. Mine will be.
No, we'll just
fucking-
play fucking.
Don't know what they'll be.
We'll just play Marilyn and Cyndi Lauper and.
Oh God, play
That'll be it.
Marilyn. Play the fucking song I love of Marilyn. I love it. Give it up. Give it up. She certainly did give it up. Fucking dead. All right, so Mr. Bingle, we've had a look at them. We've
Mr.
got to keep
Bungle,
going
you
because
banana.
Maddie's going to have to. Bungle, fucking sorry, Bungle Bingle. Mr. Bingle.
Mr.
Oh,
Bingle.
God,
He had a car accident.
Fuck, mate, it's been a long
Lara
week.
Bingle. He's Lara Bingle's uncle.
Oh, she would have been out the back for sure. Now,
For
this one's a
sure.
ripper. I love this one. I love this song. Here we go.
Hold on, is what they say. To get any back to you will have to pay. Don't shout or get upset. It's the same message from the Holy Tory government. Don't rock the sinking ship. Don't fly in the face of it. Work for your heaven brand. It's the same bullshit from the pulpit and the president. It keeps getting in my way. It drives me crazy when I hear them say, let us pray, 'cause I found my help here on earth. Get up, don't wait for judgment day. Don't wait for judgment day. Going on. You may think you're weak, but together we can be so strong. This world is no man's land. Our lives are in our hands. Our will is our command. You put it together and together we can make a stand. Our faith is the key to it. The unifying for some reason to be. You will see if you stand beside the faith of you.
What a tune. My favourite Style Council tune.
Oh, is
Big
that
Brass
right? So
Groove.
Style Council.
I love it. The fucking
Paul
brass
Weller-
in it. Yeah, Paul
It is-
Weller from the Jam.
It is very bright, isn't it? The Jam aren't
So great.
really on my radar. Like I know Paul Weller from the
Yeah.
Style Council.
Yeah, that's right. Yep.
But they're sort of like, I guess slightly before my time, of course. But the other guy, the keyboardist, Mick Talbot, is from Dexy's Midnight Runners, of course.
Yeah. Yeah. My first love, DC Lee. Oh, God, I loved her. When I saw her in this band, I could not believe my eyes. I was like, what is this girl that can sing and dance? And she had this beautiful sound to her voice and just really good performer.
Yeah.
He would go on to marry her and they had a couple of kids, DC Lee and Paul Weller. But this was a really great 80s band that really defeated the norm of 80s music. Like it was sort of jazz funk and very different from what was going on at the time commercially.
It was very sophisticated, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And it was cool to be sophisticated. You
Yes.
know, it was really trendy to have an element of sophistication about you because and I think
Yeah.
the reason behind that is because everybody was so poor, especially with these English bands. It was actually very, very difficult to create that aura of sophistication about you, you know, as an artist or an act. So yeah, I love them. I love the sort of very bright jazz element about them, and a really cool name as well.
That's right. Really good name. Worked, didn't it? Style Council. And there was an actual modelling agency in Melbourne called Style Council, which
Style
I'm pretty sure they would have
Council.
named after.
Yeah.
You know, it was just a word you wouldn't put together really. And they played Live Aid at Wembley Stadium and they were incredible. I can't remember what happened there, but something was going on. And look, I was right into this kind of stuff. I was into your Sade's, your Brian Ferries. I loved this stuff where it was just a bit more musical, but I knew I would never do it when I was older. But I could do DC Lee's part now, probably better than anyone because I love her so much. She had See the Day, which I used to take to my singing lessons. She released that after the fact and became a solo project. But I always loved her. She had a song called Selena Wow Wow. We've talked about that before as well, which was played at the Blue Lights and very disco. And I just love her and I love him. Again, I wasn't a Jam fan, but you kind of look back at the Jam. You go backwards.
Yeah, that's right.
And
Apparently
every
they
dickhead
had a
likes to
couple
wear the
of number
T-shirt.
ones. They had a couple of UK number ones. Yeah, like I said,
The Jam.
they went over my head. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, no, they had a cult following big time. Yeah. And I think it was the ones that were in bands that sort of did have a cult following that actually did this kind of stuff and took that risk. You
Yeah.
wouldn't see Bucks Fizz doing a fucking hey, don't hang on me for saying Bucks Fizz, guys. I'm not bloody Katie Millie Heike. You wouldn't see Bucks Fizz go out and do a side
No one
project. Now
is.
that I've said that,
No
someone will
one's Katie
fucking write
Millie
in.
Heike.
Yeah. Okay, well, no one is. There you go. Well, anyway, love the Style Council. Here's one of yours, babe. You know all about these guys. Here we go. Hopefully I've got the right version.
I am the sun and the air of a shyness that is criminally vulgar. I'm the sun and air of nothing in particular. You shut your mouth, how can you say I go about things the wrong way? I am human and I need to be loved just like everybody else does. and the sun and the air.
Big chunk of that one.
There you go, definitely. And all the sort of like late 90s babies and early noughties babies will remember this as the theme song to Charmed. It's, of course, a cover of The Smiths, but this version famously is by Love Spit Love. Love Spit Love was a side project of the Butler brothers from Psychedelic Furs, so Richard Butler and Tim Butler. They did it sort of after an extended hiatus after the Psychedelic Furs were taking some time off in 1992. The reason I guess we're tying it in, one, because Psychedelic Furs is such a big 80s band, but also because the vocal of his is just like so 80s and beautiful. It's actually a really good cover of the Smiths song.
Is.
Without
In fact,
really
I had to listen to it
changing
again.
anything too much. Yeah,
So I
that's
thought,
right.
am I just putting the Smiths down, you know? But it's not.
Incredible. It's incredible because a lot of things have changed from the original in this recording, but they've managed to sort of capture the spirit of it. You know what I mean? They've added a lot of stuff. They've taken a lot of stuff away. It's very synthy, which, you know, the Smiths would probably never do. But they've managed to get the same kind of vibe, which is really beautiful. I do love this cover, and we were big fans of this in night version, Maddie and my old band.
Yeah, absolutely.
Great song.
Love it, love it, love it. And look into them. There's heaps of alternative rock bands that you can look into that sort of do this kind of thing. But I just think that this sort of brought more of a look into Morrissey as well, because the young kids that were watching Charmed were going,
100%.
well, who's the guy that wrote this song? This is incredible, because it really
Absolutely.
is. I think it was a risk for them to use this song on Charmed. Like, it was really good. I
You
thought it
would
was
never touch
fantastic,
a song
you know?
like this. You
No.
wouldn't dare to touch a song like
No.
this. You know, and it did bring it to a new audience, definitely. It brought it to a TV audience. And another cool fact, Richard Fortus, who's the guitarist from this band, now plays with Guns N' Roses on tour.
That's right. Maddie mentioned that. Yeah, you're right. Wow. So we've got this one. This one is a ripper, but the artist wasn't actually, well, the artist that wrote the song wasn't actually in the band, but we've got to do a mention. Here we go.
I've been watching you. Think I wanna know ya. I said I am a little dangerous. Girl, I'd love to show ya. My true love. Yeah. I think I wanna know ya. True love. Girl, I'd love to show ya. You got a pretty car. I think I wanna drive it. I ain't place that I drive a little dangerous. Take to my crib, rip you off. Look out. I think I wanna know ya. True love. Yeah. Girl, I'd love to show ya. Come on, baby, where's your guts? You wanna make love or what? I wanna take you to my cage, lock you up and hide the key. You wanna get wild, babe, 'cause if you're hungry, take a bite of me. True love, yes.
I love
Very good. Very
vocal.
good. Note perfect.
Yes.
These guys you must mention. I mean, Prince you must mention. Like, he was just the master of
Yeah.
side projects. And,
Yeah, absolutely.
you know, he wasn't in the band per se, just as much as he wasn't in The Family or Vanity or Apollonia or any of these guys, but he was so supportive of new artists that he would really get in there, do a lot of the writing, do a lot of the instrumentation, and sort of get their momentum going as a band, and then just sort of let them go, you know. With a lot of Prince's bands like The Revolution, like MPG as well. MPG were much more independent as well at different times from Prince than, you know, the Revolution was his the band around him, but MPG was like another one of these that continued to have a career kind of adjacent to Prince rather than beyond Prince.
Yeah.
But it's what he used to do. You're like, amazing.
Yeah. Look, you in the 80s, if you found a bootleg of Prince, on the bootleg would be someone else, and then you'd have to look into them, and then you'd be like, oh, who's this Jill Jones chick? We have to look into Jill Jones, and then there'd be a whole album of that. I mean, he did Alicia Fiorello in the 80s, the late 80s. He was just always doing side projects. The thing I love about the time, though, is they still sound amazing today.
Yeah, they do. They're still great.
And they were great musicians, you know. And Morris Day, of course, was extremely funny and cool. And if you don't remember who they are, it's in Purple Rain. They're like the rival band that play at this club, The Time. And he's trying to steal Prince's girlfriend Apollonia from him. And, she kind of went there.
They're the more famous band in the film, if you remember. They're the sort of bigger, more famous popular band, whereas Prince's band are the sort of more the underdogs. They're the sort of like younger, like the upstarts,
it was good.
you know?
Yeah, I love Purple Rain. I think it's underrated. I think it's an amazing.
Just so
looking
incredible.
at the people in the crowd, that's how we dressed. That was like, you look back at the movie and you go, oh my God, the lace gloves and the different color eyeshadow and the squares around your ears and the perms. Like, we all went out like that. And it was just, it's actually historic how cool people were. Now, fucking, you get with someone, you think like them, you fucking root them, you fucking, oh, I'm like this, and oh, no, they reckon I should do this. There's no alternative thinking and how you want to do. And I think this is what social media's done to society, is that we're all looking at other people's shit and going, oh, well, I want to be like that. But we didn't have any information. It just came from our soul.
100%.
You know?
Absolutely. Yeah, that's right. The Time also
like you
famous.
just woke up in the morning and you went.
Yeah, no, you did. No, you're absolutely right. I was just going to say The Time are famous for having Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis in the band as well.
Yeah.
Who became Jam and Lewis, who would then sort of work with Janet Jackson, and they would really carry that new funk sound forward. And what I always love this, I've got to say it again, Janet sort of carried the sort of New Jack Swing sound that Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis sort of pioneered. That's something that they learnt from Prince at the end of the day. Janet was doing New Jack Swing. It became the big popular sound, and Michael Jackson ended up adopting that sound on, say, the Dangerous album with songs like Jam.
Yeah.
Remember the Time, that kind of thing. That's all New Jack Swing. So at the end of the day, it's amazing that Michael Jackson was sort of adopting those sounds, that really Prince was the one that, fused together all those sounds.
Yeah.
He would hate to admit
sound, the middle sound of Janet was a bit New Jack Swingy, but the early stuff was very straight ahead funk kind of normal stuff. Like, there was a lot of New Jack Swing movies coming out, sort of late 80s, House Party or whatever, and it sort of had a swing to it, where a lot of Janet's early stuff like Pleasure Principle was very snappy, so but definitely, I mean, well, when they're brother and sister, they were never competing against each other, so I think Janet just wanted to use the guys, and then Michael was like, well, I'm going to use them as well, But I find the New Jack Swing stuff dates a little bit just dates a bit.
It does date a bit. It was very sort of cutting edge. And any of that super trendy cutting edge stuff at the time always does run the risk of becoming dated, just because of the production sounds that they're using and the methods that they're using and everything. But I really think Janet is the only one from their family that gave Michael a run for his money, where Michael was like,
oh yeah,
threatened in a beautifully sort of supportively like in a competition sense, where Michael was like, fucking here we go, like she's actually giving me a run for my money. They've got a beautiful duality, Michael and Janet.
Yeah, you could see that when she did Bloody Sonny and Cher show. She was just all ham,
She's looking fucking incredible. I just missed out on seeing her in London and France. When I was in London, she was in France, and then sort of vice versa. I just missed out on seeing her. She looks phenomenal on the tour that she's doing.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
She must be on Ozempic like everybody else.
I know. Who isn't on it? I know. It's
we'll have to
amazing.
go on Ozempic, babe.
Fuck, mate. Christine Aguilera is the one that's freaking me out the most.
I know.
She ended up with
Can
these
you believe
big titties
it?
and fat ass, and all of a sudden she's fucking tiny and looks 15 years older but 15 years younger. It's really bizarre.
And I hate to admit it, she looks great.
Well, she does look great, but it's just a bit Barbie doll for me. I like
It is a bit
chunk.
Barbie doll. Yeah.
A little bit.
Yeah.
Oh, you can see, but I mean, look into the time. They had 1 million albums and the production still stands up. I think Jungle Love is just and The Bird is an incredible. I was buying Time albums all through the 90s. I loved them, But anyway, let's go on to the next one. This is the last one.
Beautiful. Let's give it a go.
Here we go.
On the floating shipless oceans, I did all my best to smile till your singing eyes and fingers drew me laughing to your eye, and you sang, said to me, let me unfold you. Here I am, waiting to hold you. Did I dream? You dreamed about me. Were you here when I was for sale? Now my foolish boat is leaning, broken love long on your
There you go.
Beautiful song. Always loved it. Can you remember years ago when I got married for the first time? We asked you to fucking sing this as the walking down the aisle song, and you were like,
didn't.
oh no, I don't think so. No, I don't want to do that. You didn't want to do it.
I
Thank
didn't.
fuck.
Really?
Thank fuck you said no, because like imagine this.
Would have ruined it forever for you.
Everyone would have wanted to fucking kill themselves. I mean,
Well,
you would
we
have.
were so fucking pissed. We would have.
We were pissed. We wanted you to do it. We wanted you to do it because we knew you would like just rip the top off it, but like not for a fucking like processional song. It's not right.
Mate, Before you got married, I couldn't scratch my own ass. So I'm so glad that didn't happen.
None of us could.
right?
None of us could.
No.
We were so pissed.
I don't like. I was fucking off my nut before you even said I do. I was nuts. I was on everyone's laps. I was, hello, how are you? You know. But
Fuck, you're on fire. It was so funny.
It was very that time to write songs like that. Were a little bit. What's going on with the world? And I hope he loves me. And where's
This
my
is a
pillow?
Tim Buckley
You know, it
cover,
was-
strangely enough. This is a cover of Tim Buckley from the 70s. But I never ever knew this as a Tim Buckley song. Strangely, this was always a sort of this Mortal Coil song. This is why actually this will tie into a future episode because this is basically a production project. This Mortal Coil was brought about by a couple of guys. Ivo Watts Russell and John Fryer. They were basically producers and they had sort of like a rotating roster of artists that would come through and do, vocals and instrumentation on their songs. The name of the band, This Mortal Coil, comes from Shakespeare, from Hamlet, of course. I went to Shakespeare's grave. I went to the church he was baptised in and the church that he was buried in. Which was really special to me. That was like the highlight of the tour.
Yeah.
The holiday.
Jimi Hendrix was mine.
Oh, yeah, that would have been fucking incredible.
Yeah.
Where's he
I loved
buried?
it. Oh, I didn't go to his. I know. I went to. We went to the Doors. We went to.
That's right.
Jim
You went to Jim
Morrison's grave
Morrison
in France. But did you go in France to there, or is that where he was buried, or where's Shakespeare
I didn't
buried?
this time. I didn't go to
Okay.
Jim Morrison this time. I just wanted to do it on my own, which is
that's
strange.
nice.
I just
Yeah,
wanted
of
to do
course
Jim
so.
Morrison on my own. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
Where I was sort of happy to take everybody along to go and see Shakespeare's grave. I thought I'll do Jim Morrison in time. Like I'll do it next time. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
But I was
yeah.
strangely desperate to go to Shakespeare's grave. Anyway, so this Mortal Coil comes from Shakespeare, but this beautiful song, it's almost like I know nothing about it. I only know the song. I don't know anything about the
Didn't you hear it in a movie though, or something? Was this the same song where you heard it in a movie?
Somebody gave it to me on a mixtape.
Because it's the Cocteau Twins, isn't it?
Yeah, that's right.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Oh,
But
who gave you the mixtape of that? Fucking dagger woman.
No.
Someone's going to kill you.
Strangely enough, it was Sam
was Mika.
Worthington. No, it was
Sam
Sam
Worthington.
Worthington.
Oh wow, there you go.
You know the actor Sam Worthington. He's got incredible taste in music. And
Molly Sam Worthington, the guy that played Molly. Am I getting the wrong person?
That's Sam Johnson.
Samuel.
So Sam Worthington
Sam
that was in
Johnson.
Avatar. You know, like Sam Worthington that was in
that
Bootman
one that
and-
married Lara Bingle.
Oh yeah, he did too.
Fucking there you go. There's a tie-up for you.
I fucking forgot about that.
That doesn't
of
surprise
course.
me that he gave you a
That's-
mixtape with this on it.
But the thing is, that's the most bogan wedding you can ever fucking imagine. His musical knowledge and taste is like impeccable.
Well, why aren't
Like,
we
the
getting him on this
songs-
show?
The songs that were on the mixtape were like amazing. Oh, I know what's going on. for him
Mixtape
now.
songs. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Mixtape
right.
songs.
Another one was another one on that
apparently
that
this-
tape was Pictures of You by The Cure. And I had never kind of looked at that song on its own apart from other Cure songs, you know what I mean? Like it wasn't until I got that mixtape where I was like, yeah, that song actually is special, isn't it? Like, you know when somebody gives you a mixtape and they're basically telling you these are special songs, listen to them, you know what I mean? It wasn't until listening to it on a mixtape that I realised Pictures of You was so incredible. It's so stupid.
Did he have Baghdad Cafe, I Am Calling You on the mixtape?
No, I don't think so.
I'm calling you Oh, that's a bit the same.
Oh, that's a good one.
It's a good one.
I wish I could sing like that at the moment.
Yeah, it's very frustrating when you got a fucked voice. Very
Yeah.
frustrating. Good on you, Sammy Worthington. Well, there you go. You got that on a mixtape and now it's stained your life.
I wonder where that is.
Now, apparently
still got it.
they really pushed to get this version on Blue Velvet and they couldn't afford it because it was the Cocteau twins that were going to do it, which she came from, I think, I'm assuming.
Yeah. Yeah.
I might be wrong. And because David Lynch still calls it his favourite version he's ever heard.
Yeah.
And they were going to put it in Blue Velvet. And Blue Velvet was an incredible movie. Like, we watched that at school. I mean, my school was just over the top fucking Nutsville. But
Yeah.
my God, we used to watch Blue Velvet in cinematography classes or whatever, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it was just a little bit weird for me to go, should I be going to this school next year, do you think? You know what I mean? But I
Yeah,
appreciate it now because that's what keeps people thinking freely. You can't have a person that just looks at everything and thinks, oh, well, I've got to do this, blah, blah, blah. We grew up
Yeah.
in such an amazing time where there were cult movies and cult videos and your parents didn't think like that, but you
Yeah,
loved
yeah,
your
yeah.
parents, but you kind of went a bit left of centre, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
It was this
Yeah.
kind of stuff that made people unique.
Absolutely, yeah. Now, hey, Elizabeth Fraser from Cocteau Twins, who's Scottish. Scots are known for having, beautiful voices.
Scottish. Yeah,
Yeah,
Scottish.
that's right. She does the vocals on Song to the Siren. She's also, and I always thought of this song like, this is one of those incredible vocals where you will know the song, you'll know the vocal, but you'll never know the singer.
Yeah.
And another one that I put in this league is, say, Teardrops by Massive Attack.
Yeah, yep.
It's the same fucking vocalist, Elizabeth
well,
Fraser.
that's right.
Yeah. She's amazing.
And even better in Teardrop. I love Teardrop.
yeah,
Like, that's a
yeah,
good vocal,
Yeah,
you know?
yeah, that's right.
It's
Yeah,
a great
so
vocal.
there we go.
There we go. Well, welcome back, lovely.
Yeah, how good.
You'll
It's
have
good
to-
to be back.
Yeah, you'll have to come out next week and do a couple of shows.
That's right. And give you your fucking prezzies.
I'm so excited. Oh, my God. It's just amazing.
It's like a little
It's
canvas you
beautiful,
can put next to your bed.
hun. It's
And
going in the
I-
lounge room. I don't care what Maddie says. I need to see it every day.
I almost went to Brixton because the street art, the wall that it's on is just 3 minutes from the train station. And I was just trying to find the opportunity just to get the tube quickly to Brixton and then home, because it's like such a fucking mission to get like the pram and Leo and everybody in
Oh,
the
yeah,
tube, and
sure.
because you got to carry it up the fucking steps and everything.
Yeah, sure. Yeah,
'cause
that's right.
There's not lifts at every station,
No.
And I'm trying to find the excuse to get away to Brixton just so I can get this photo. Didn't get there. I'll get it next time, but it's there anyway.
I'm sure we'll be going back.
Mural.
I'm sure we'll be
we've
going
got
back
to
as
go.
V180s.
We would have
Yeah.
the best time,
We
babe.
would. And you know what? It can't not work, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. We'll find a theatre
Follow
in
us,
Soho,
bitches.
do a show. That's it.
Yeah.
Thank you,
yeah.
guys. We've loved this. Thank you for joining us again. Good to be back. We'll be back in the band room next week. Side projects.
We will.
It's
And
been
then we're
pretty
in
good.
Tassie. We're in Tasmania, Shearwater Resort and Longley International Hotel on the Sunday afternoon, Friday the 18th of October. That is going nuts, guys. We love your you're just amazing. Buying
Yeah,
your
the
tickets so
support's
early.
incredible.
And
Very
you can buy
good.
tickets at the door. So, look, it seats 800. If we sell 800, I'm going to start pulling my fucking dick in front of you all. Like, I don't think we're going to do that. But
I'd love
I'm
that.
happy
we
with
might.
5. Well, we
Yeah.
might, but they've got
Yeah.
a week. And it is Devonport, so they're all very excited about it. And it's going to be incredible. So we can't wait to see Tassie next weekend. Siren.
Will Jackie Lambie be there? That's what I want to know. We should send a little invite
No,
to Jackie
I
and
should
try to
have
get
rung
it down.
her. Yeah, look, that's right.
We love Jackie.
We
Big
could
follower
do
on
Lambie.
Instagram these days.
Yeah, right. Good
Very
old
cool.
Lambie. People say she is, I was going to say the female version of me, but I am a female, so that's a ridiculous statement. Very similar.
I think
in
you're
your
the
face.
female version of each other, to be honest.
Maybe. I like the fact that she's just fucking, I'm probably not as angry, but she's fucking awesome, you know.
You need to
Here
kick
we
up a
go.
stink in politics. She does a great job.
I loved when we
Hey-
met her at Tassie when we chased
Oh,
after
yeah,
her.
that's right. And it was
The
like
Mole
it was
Creek.
like we had always known each other. We were just like speaking the same language, and she was like, "Nice to see you."
Because you were looking at me going, Jackie Lambie's behind you, Jackie Lambie's behind you.
Yeah.
And I turned around and went, Jackie, Jackie.
She knew
And then
us
we got
from
a photo
bloody,
taken.
She knew us from bloody what was
Mole
it?
Creek.
The Mole Creek Festival. Yeah.
Yeah.
We got to
Well,
get
this
back
is going
there
to be
next
bigger
year.
than Mole Creek, this Shearwater bloody resort thing. It's going to be the
Um,
same but bigger.
I wonder how Mole Creek's going. We should go back there next year.
Well, that was through the agent and he'll want my fucking firstborn, you know.
Yeah, it's been
Can't
long
stand
enough
it.
though, hasn't it?
Oh, look, who knows? They probably, I don't know. He's retired, I think, anyway, but I never say never. I don't know. I'm happy to do Shearwater and Longley because of the
Yeah.
numbers, you know. And I
Yeah,
know what they
beautiful.
are. I don't know what the Mole Creek numbers were, but they were big. But
yeah.
you're doing it off your own back. You don't have the fucking chisel up your ass band that sound like shit.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
I'll never forget Dallas on that gig where we were in bed because we shared a room and he started singing, this fucking guy in this Cold Chisel band, and I'm not going to name the band, but he's fucking horrible. And Dallas goes, "Oh my God, he sounds like he's got the chisel up his ass." And I fucking lost it. I couldn't believe it. I was like, that's the funniest shit you've ever said, you know?
Funny bitch. Oh,
So
it'll be
it's
good to
just
see the band
80s,
as well
80s,
next
80s.
week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It'll be good to see the
awesome.
band, yeah. We'll tell you.
Thanks, guys. Hope you've loved our show. Thank you very much. Big shout out to all our subscribers. Awesome thing you can do is become a subscriber, guys. Hit the subscribe button. Really pushes us up the charts. Please like, share, rate, and review. Give us 5 stars, but most of all, become a subscriber. And you can also become a Patreon for as little as $2 a month. But for $15 a month, you get the extra episodes that we do behind the scenes.
And they're nuts. They're crazy. You hear about all the goss.
Yeah,
and
we
I
just
will not be at Crown Casino
care.
tomorrow night. I've had so many
What the fuck's
messages.
the-
Are you at?
I saw that. What
Oh,
the fuck's that
yeah.
all about?
I've got about 10 messages going, I'll see you at Crown Casino. And I'm not in Pseudo Echo anymore,
Why?
guys.
Oh,
I'm not in
right.
Pseudo Echo. I'm
Are
fucking
they playing
gone.
palms, are they?
Dodged a bullet, hey? Yeah,
playing
got
palms,
their
are
palms
they?
gig. Yeah. Yeah, they'll be playing palms. Or they'll be paying, whatever. And not doing that. But you will see Rewind Daddies at Palms soon. I'm working in front of that and getting that happening. But there's so much happening. We'll see you next week, guys.
Good on you guys. We love you. And if it's music mateys,
Or cool shit from the 80s.
we're going to talk about it.
Unreal.